Hello everybody. Right, it's been a long time. In fact, it's been probably more than 10 years since I've airbrushed. More than 10 years. Wow, it must be 14 years. I don't know. Anyway, I've gone and bought myself one of these little tiny compressors. This one is a Fengda DFD 186, right? Now my old airbrush I've got here, which I've had this airbrush probably 12 or 14 years. I haven't used it for donkey's years. I used it once on a motorbike, to spray a motorbike up a long time ago. I'm no expert on airbrushing by far. So I've got this small compressor. I used to have a bigger compressor. So we're going to give this a shot and we're going to see what it does because, you know, they seem pretty popular and I can move it about. My other compressor has got a large tank on it and I can't do that. So if you're looking for a compressor, I am a noob. So we're just going to have a bit of a play about and we'll see what happens. Okay, let's crack on. Okay, so first things first, right? I have fired this compressor up without an airbrush on it. I have done that. What I will say to you is, let me just show you this. Now, my old compressor, which I still have, but it's large. These small nuts, this was the only thing with this one, it was super tight, right? Now, what I always do when I finish with these compressors, any compressors, is I leave this undone, okay? Because you don't want water collecting in here. You do not want water going into your tank, and it will build up the condensate. So I'm just nipping it back up by hand, like that. I loosened it when I did it earlier. I've connected my airbrush up now. The airbrush, the cable, everything is years old, so I don't know if this is going to work. So we're going to fire this compressor up and see how loud it is. You ready? No, I'll tell you what. We'll plug it in first. Electricity usually helps, I've found. Just bear with me. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's plugged in now. Okay, so we'll turn her on. Super quiet. I'll move that handle that way because this up here may get warm, you know. The pressure gauge is here, as you can see. You have to excuse any mess on the table. I've been digging stuff out. We'll see what the airbrush is, if the airbrush even works in a moment. I don't know what pressure this stops at. That's my airbrush pressure, I'm guessing there. Let's just have a quick go. I'll squeeze my airbrush. Ooh, I'm not hearing no air coming out my airbrush. That's bad. That might be because I've got an adapter on the airbrush lead. I'll have a look at that in a moment. I'll let it charge up. It's very quiet. I will do a bit of spraying with this if I get it working properly. On a bit of paper. This cost me approximately £75. It was just, I bought just the compressor. I didn't buy any airbrushes with it, just the compressor, okay? So it looks a nice little bit of kit. It's compact, you can move it about. Like I say, I'll check my airbrush in a minute. I won't do that on camera because it's difficult to hold the camera and mess about with settings. I'm guessing I've turned it off on the airbrush handle, so we'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, so £75, very small. Taking quite a long time to charge the tank, but the one upstairs, I've got a man cave, okay, and I've got a compressor. It's an old Clark one, but it's massive. I'm not kidding you. The cylinder head's probably as big as this machine. Oh, stop. There you go. Yeah, and it's really, really loud. It shakes the house if you start it up, and it takes about 2 minutes to charge the cylinder. Okay, right, I'll just pause this for a minute, and I'll just check this airbrush. I'll be back. Okay, so as I suspected, I've got an adjuster on here, and it was turned off. So now when I push my airbrush. Okay, so I'll look at what pressure it's putting out on the airbrush. You ready? When you're doing this, you squeeze your airbrush and let air through it. So here we go, let's squeeze the airbrush. You haven't got much there, so undo that, lift it up, adjust it to where you want. We'll go to about 20 psi, I think, just to see what it does. I don't know I can't remember what the psi needs to be on there. Then snap it down. Compressor's firing itself back up to recharge the tank. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure how long this should take. Let me just put this camera down so you can actually. There we go, there we go. See, I don't believe, and I might be wrong, that this compressor can keep up with an airbrush. And I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move this back. Okay, it stopped again. We'll move it back over there. Look, see, we know it's set at 20 psi, don't we? Yeah? 20 psi. You have to excuse me my camera work. I'm trying my best. Let's just... Right, now this brush hasn't been used for a lot of years, so what I'm going to do first, and I'm going to push something through it. I might put some water through it first. Put some water through the airbrush. Now, if you're ever using water, right, a tip here, use distilled water, okay? If you're mixing anything, use distilled water, because any other water will go stagnant. Distilled will not go stagnant. There you go. That's a fact. Now, I have a dehumidifier in my house that I use throughout winter and that. So if the residue water that the dehumidifier collects is distilled water, so I use that. Oh, that's what I'm going to use. So I'll just put a bit of water in here. Okay. Well, it still sprays. That's a good sign. Okay. So we'll just put it into the cleaner here. Give it a flush. I don't know what this is going to do paint wise, because I ain't got a clue. There's quite a lot of water in there. What I really need is a container. Another pause, another pause. I'm back again. Okay, so if you ever do anything, it's best to have a plastic cup and just tip it out, rather than mess about for hours spraying it and wasting all your air. There's the water, look, you can see that. I can't remember what needle's in these. I believe it's a 0.35 needle in one of these guns, I think. This is the old Grex XT model. I think this was one of the first ones. I'm not 100% sure. I got it because I wanted one with a trigger on, and I wanted a cup that I can adjust to angles. So that's why I went for a side feed. Right, so what we're going to do, just bear with me here, I'll put that down there. Let me put it on there. This might be crazy, but I've got some paint here. Now this paint was mixed about 12 years ago. This could be a mistake. So I'm going to give it a good shake up off camera. I'm going to put it in the brush and I'm going to spray some paper and we're going to see what happens. We could test in the ice. We're seeing how it does. It's cool. It's not even warm yet. Everything's good. I should have pointed out, it has got an air trap on it for catching moisture, a moisture trap, sorry. But as you probably saw on my brush, I've also got a moisture trap on my brush. That's just something I've added on my own. You know, that's just something I already had. Okay, you don't want water in your paint while you're painting. That's what I'm trying to say. All right then. Right, quick pause. I'll put some paint in and I'll give it a shake and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've put some black paint into the gun. Now this, I'm not joking, this paint was mixed maybe, let's not make an argument of it, let's say 12 years ago. I think it was longer than that. So we'll just apply the air and gently do that. Can you see that? Can you see the paint coming out already? Now you've got to remember, I've not used an airbrush for a long time. Now there's a guy I watched on YouTube, and I just want to point this out. You see this line here, where it went smooth, dot, smooth, dot, smooth. He was getting that. Now I'll tell you what that's caused by. That's not caused by the airbrush. That's caused by me stuttering and moving. Right, if I lift my hand up off the table, it shouldn't do it. Let's try it. Look. It's if you stop, what? So the guy on the internet was saying this airbrush is faulty because it does this, right? And I don't mean my airbrush, I'm referring to a Grex one he was testing. In my opinion, it was his hand control. It was nothing to do with anything else. So here you go. So I'll put them on. Look. Oh, look at that, beautiful, man. That's well, I'm impressed with that. I love that. Look at that. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I'm no airbrusher, but already I'm loving this. Takes a bit of time to get used to again, of course. But it's working. It's working. I mean, I'm not joking. This paint's years old. That's not on full whack. If I do full whack, I'll stand the feel up. That's still not full whack. So you can do a massive area with this paintbrush, look. With this airbrush. But I'm a noob, so what I'm going to do, if people are interested in this, you can hear my compressor going. It's all about testing the compressor, really. I might do some models actually on the channel and try to do something. I've actually got some models I want to do, so I need a lot of practice. I do need a lot of practice. I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe if you go really fine, maybe it does splutter a little bit. I don't know what you guys think. Let's just flip that paper over. Trying to go as slow as I can, as steady as I can, you know. Hopefully you can see that. That's quite a fine line. For somebody who does, you've got to remember, I've used an airbrush a long time ago. The compressor's still firing. It's starting to warm up now. It is starting to warm up. It's stopped again. So it's going to keep up with the brush because I'm not going to be spraying that much, you know what I mean? Somebody's come in the door, so I'm going to have to end this video here, people. I just heard a whistle. So I'll catch you on a bit. I'll pause it for now and I'll come back to you all. How's that? Okay, so sorry about interruption. Somebody came, I had to stop, and I've cleaned my airbrush out. It's gone, look. I took my airbrush off, I've cleaned it. What can I say about this? Well, bearing in mind this is the first time I've used it, it is quiet. It's not very noisy at all. This seems fairly easy to use. I've got to say, for setting up your pressures, that's pretty easy. The only thing I did find, and I was using it for how long, we saw how long I was using it for when I cleaned it out, is it gets hot. It gets a bit warm here and a bit warm here. So I don't know over long term. I don't know till I try it on some models. I really can't comment on that. I didn't show you how to open up a moisture trap. If there's any water in it, you can usually press them in. I don't know if this one works like that, does it? Yeah, you could hear a bit of water coming out. And did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that. Just press this in here. Under here, the piece I was on about before, I would undo that. You can pull this. This is a safety valve here. If you pull it, will let the air out. Okay. You do it whatever you want. It works. That's a safety valve. But like I say, underneath, whenever I'm doing anything, it's difficult because I'm holding the camera, but I will undo that and I will leave that small nut on the bottom undone, okay? Until next time, and I'll tighten it up. Okay, so let us know if you want me to see me trying to spray some models with this, and we'll see how we go. There's different things on the table you can see. I've got homemade airbrush cleaner, I've got distilled water, I've got different things. It's years old. That paint I tried, this paint here, is as old as I said it is. I'm not even joking. Anyway, thanks for watching if you watched. Any questions you can ask me. I'm new to this. Ask away. I'll catch you all on the next one. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye for now.